South America is glistening with agricultural resources that are obviously quickly perishable without the proper conditions. Prior to refrigeration, the agribusiness between South America and its friends across the oceans was unheard of before the 1870s. The need for greater shelf life was emphasized when bananas, coming from the United Fruit Company, began their takeover of Boston and New York markets. However, a longer shelf life was necessary to get inland and expand the market. This necessity was felt all over the continent. In 1872, the Argentinian president Domingo Sarmiento announced a reward for anybody capable of keeping beef cold long enough to extend a trip overseas. Packing ships with ice was extremely cost inefficient and contrary to ideal. However, in 1876, a French engineer, Charles Tellier, sailed a meat-filled ship to Buenos Aires to prove a conceptual layout. After 105 days at sea, the meat arrived safe to eat. This challenge gave way to the rise of refrigerated ships called reefers, which would develop to revolutionize the exportation ability of the world, especially all coastal regions of South America. By 1902, there were 460 reefers sailing the seas carrying millions of tons of Argentina's beef, United Fruit Company's bananas, and much, much more. Over the next century, especially after the construction of the Panama Canal, reefers played a pivotal role to increase exports exponentially and evolved into the cargo ships we know today. By 2011, the exports shipped by reefers accounted for 12% or 40 billion US dollars of the value of total exports from both coasts of the continent. South America now accounts for 30% of global reefer exports by volume. The main reefer exports from the East Coast in 2011 were poultry, citrus fruits, bovine, pears, and apples, which amounted to 9 million tons of goods. On the West Coast, the main exports were bananas, apples, grapes, fish, tropical fruits, and seafood, which met the East Coast for another overall total of 9 million tons. That being said, the exports are only growing. Since 1995, East Coast reefer export volumes have increased by 178%, and export values increased by 271%. For the West Coast in those 20 years, the volumes increased 78% and the values have increased 179%. Overall, the use of refrigerated ships has increased the ability to export products that would have otherwise had to stay local due to such shorter shelf lives. This has opened up huge trade opportunities for South America and allows for their agribusiness to flourish in exports.